We've heard it from John Calipari numerous times this offseason that this year's Kentucky basketball team is going to be the youngest and most inexperienced team yet. You take a closer look at the numbers. They have to replace 92.6% of their scoring, 76.6% of their rebounding from last year, and the Cats lost 88% of their minutes. Wenyen Gabriel is Kentucky's leading returning scorer and rebounder from last year, but he averaged just 4.6 points, 4.8 rebounds per game. And we've talked recently about leadership, how important that is for this team. Tonight we're going to take a look at a different factor, the X factor, what it means to be an X factor. And Bradley McKee is here. Who is your guy? Get to that, but explain first before you do, what does it mean to you to be an X factor?
Well, X factor is the guy who's obviously going to contribute for this team and who's going to make this team go. And the guy that you can always depend on, who's always going to be there for you. And, you know, it can mean a lot of different things. I mean, you can look at the leading scorer, the leading rebounder, just the leader overall, whoever you want to look at. But, you know, they got to have some kind of X factor. I think every year John Calipari has found an X factor player for his team. And obviously over time, I feel like it's been moved around. I think one time they had Dominique Hawkins were X factor. Then it was Derek Willis or X factor. And then the twin. You know, it's always been something different for each moment. So it's a very key role for this team in moving forward.
And your guy you're going with is Quade Green.
I'm going to Quade Green.
Picks the point guard.
Yeah, point guard. You know, just because I think that's such an important position for this team. In any team, I think you got to have a solid point guard. We saw when Kentucky last year when De'Aaron Fox was struggling, they were really, the whole team was struggling. They were trying to rely on Malik Monk to hit every jump shot he possibly could. Right. You were forced to put Briscoe in a position that I guess he really didn't feel comfortable playing. So I think your X factor has to be Quade Green for me, because that's a point guard. You know, if you don't have a point guard, what are you going to do? He's like the little engine that could. You know, they need him. He's their little engine. And I think that Quade is going to be the X factor for them moving forward to winning games, to really setting the tone for the whole entire team.
He's going to be so important to what they want to do. And even as they encounter struggles early, or they don't, if they come together very quickly, he's going to be the guy that everyone focuses on, saying the point guard really made it happen for him. I like your definition of X factor. To me, it's a guy that you know you can rely on every single night, who does the little things to win, a lot like Isaiah Briscoe. To me, that's going to be P.J. Washington, because rebounding is the key to victory. You went with the point guard. I was a big guy when I played. You got to rebound the basketball. And to me, he's not the biggest guy on the court, the tallest, but he's the best rebounder. And for Kentucky to be really good, get those transition opportunities, create plays for themselves where they get easy points that help them as they struggle through what they are half court. P.J. Washington can control the glass. He's a guy that's going to allow Wenyen Gabriel to play a little five, I think, at times, because he can defend and rebound, allow Calipari to be a little flexible. But when you look at the criteria for what an X factor is and who that can be, what's intriguing about this roster, there's so many guys, because the things I just said about P.J. Washington, aside from the great rebounding, that's Jared Vanderbilt. That switches up what they want to do on the court. Wenyen Gabriel has the experience. He can step outside, step inside. And as you mentioned, last year's team, it was sort of a moving every night. Somebody else was the guy. If you can get that, you could be a very good group. And this team, again, it's early. We haven't even seen these guys on the court together. Baby. They're replacing 90% of this and 80% of that. It's going to be a while to get there, but a lot of options for John Calipari.